Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. I'm the manager here at Noble Defender. Today we're going to be covering how do you maintain your modern sporting rifle, otherwise known as an AR platform. Okay, today we're going to be cleaning our AR. Before we start, we're going to go over a few things that you may want to have in your possession. One of the things I like to have is always a good field manual. Colt probably has the most thorough manual out there. I highly recommend getting something so you'll understand what the parts are and how they fit together. You're going to need a shop rag, a bore cleaner, some tools, a couple Q-tips, some patches, and some gun cleaning oil. I use Break Free. There are many others out there like Hoppies and so forth. We're not sponsored by anybody, so personal preference is up to you. Okay, before we start, we're going to go over what the parts are called. Military uses nomenclature. We'll start from the front and work our way to the back. First thing we want to point out is a flash suppressor. This is basically the muzzle end of the rifle. These are the hand guards. This would be the upper receiver. This is a brass deflector. This is a dust cover. This is a magazine release. We have the trigger. We have the grip, we have the magazine well, we have the charging handle, and we have the buttstock. On this side of the weapon, you'll notice we have a bolt carrier release, and we have the safety, which is on right now. You see the trigger and the trigger guard. Before we do any type of cleaning, we always want to make sure that our weapon is safe and there is nothing in the chamber. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point the weapon in a safe direction. Right now the weapon's pointed in a safe direction. I am going to lock the bolt carrier group to the rear. Obviously we don't have anything in the magazine. We're going to put the weapon on safe, and we're going to visually and physically inspect the chamber to make sure there are no live rounds in this weapon before we take it apart. This would be considered a clear and safe weapon. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to let the bolt go home, and we're going to start breaking it down. First thing I want to do is I want to remove the upper receiver from the lower receiver group. We do this by removing these pins right here. Take out the rear pin first, and what's going to happen is we're going to pull the charging handle back. The bolt carrier group is going to come out, and then we're going to pull the charging handle out also. Now we could leave it right here if we had a stand, but to make it easier right now, we're going to take the upper receiver from the lower receiver and we're going to separate them. It makes it much easier to clean, and we can put it together afterwards. So here we go. We have the lower receiver group, upper receiver, we have the bolt carrier group, and we have the charging handle. Lower receiver group, what do we have? You can see the hammer right here, right? We need to be careful. If we ever release this, we want to make sure that we have our finger on the hammer. We could take it off safe, and we could let it go home. We try not to let it go home, slam into this, so it doesn't cause any damage. When we're cleaning this, we're looking for any dirt, carbon fouling, or anything that might have fallen into it. So the way we do that is we're going to take a toothbrush, and we're just going to wipe out anything that could possibly be inside there. Once we do that, it should be good to go. One of the things that we like to check on this while we have it all apart is we like to check on the buffer and the buffer spring. So in order to release that, there is a small spring-loaded detent right here. We're going to press back on the buffer, and it will slide out just like this. Buffer spring. When we look down the tube, we just want to make sure that there's nothing in there that would cause this to foul or hang up, and the buffer tube is clean as it should be. Once we look down the buffer tube and make sure that it's clean and there's nothing in there, we could go ahead and reassemble the buffer assembly with the buffer spring. All we do is push it back in. We're going to push back the detent that locks right there, and that holds it in. And that's it for the lower receiver. The next part we're going to focus on is a bolt carrier group. This has a few parts and they go in a certain way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a tool from my cleaning kit and I'm going to pop out the firing pin retaining pin from the side. Make sure you don't pull too far. Those are easy to lose. Once we do that, we're going to drop the firing pin out. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to grab the bolt cam pin. Now, in order to get the bolt cam pin out, we need to rotate it slightly and pull this out. Bolt cam pin. Once we do that, the bolt will actually come out and there's no further disassembly of the bolt carrier. This is a bolt. Right here, you can see the extractor and the ejector. This little pin right here is the ejector, and this little thing, claw, is the extractor. What we want to do when we're trying to clean this is we just want to get in there really good, make sure there's nothing inside there. We're going to clean it outside, and depending on how much you fire it will depend on how hard you have to clean this. So once we go there, we'll take care of that. We inspect the firing pin, and as we can see, there's a little bit of carbon buildup right here. So we could use our handy dandy toothbrush right here, and you can see it gets very clean really quick. We'll take our rag, we'll wipe it down. We want to make sure most of these parts are dry except for the bearing surfaces where we're going to apply oil. On the bolt carrier, we want to just do a general inspection, make sure there's nothing big, any cracks. We want to make sure the carrier key is actually staked in place and it's not moving. If this is moving, you probably need to go to a gunsmith and have them re-torque it. And what we call staking is this little part right here that goes up against a screw that holds the screw in place. After inspecting it, we find nothing obvious that's wrong. We'll go ahead with our toothbrush and we'll wipe it down. Make sure that we get anything that's possibly on there, carbon buildup, brass, or copper. We're going to take a look inside and make sure there's nothing inside that would cause any fouling. In order to do that, we can go ahead and grab a Q-tip and we could just go inside and kind of look at that. We get it as clean as we possibly can, and obviously cleaning is a very subjective term depending on how you want your firearm to be maintained. As you can see, we got a little carbon out of there. We'll go ahead and give it one more go around, and it's much cleaner. We'll go back here. This is where the firing pin goes in, and we'll do the same thing back here, just to make sure there's not any dirt or carbon buildup or copper fouling that would inhibit that firing pin to work properly. Okay, it's pretty clean, pretty clean. Now we have our charging handle. Basically what we're just looking for is to make sure that the springs are working properly and there's nothing that would cause it to malfunction. Again, we'll take our toothbrush, just give it a once over, make sure that we're not missing anything, and then we'll wipe it down. We want to try to keep these parts as clean and dry as we possibly can. Too much oil will attract carbon and other dirt and will cause malfunction in this weapon. Okay, now we're moving on to the upper receiver, and what I assembled was a bore brush. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick the bore brush in here, and all we're going to do is twist it, right? Doesn't matter clockwise, counterclockwise, you're not going to hurt anything. And what we're trying to do is clean all the carbon right behind the locking lugs and where the round actually sits in the chamber. What we can do, grab a Q-tip just to make sure that we got everything, and we'll go around on the inside just to see. So not too bad, right? A little bit of carbon buildup. And again, You could clean this as clean as you possibly want to. It's up to you how you want to maintain your weapon. I also clean up here behind the gas tube. A lot of carbon likes to hide up there when we shoot. So I clean up there, and that's actually not too bad also. So this weapon has been maintained very well. Not bad at all for a white cotton Q-tip. Not much there. All right, I have my bore snake now. These are very helpful, easy to pack. You can take them anywhere. And what we're going to do, it has a little brass plug on the very end. We're going to drop that down in the barrel. And as it feeds through the barrel, it comes out the other side. And all we do is we're going to feed it, make sure it gets in there. And we essentially just pull this through, and it's going to clean the bore just like that. We're going to put a little oil right before these little copper bristles right here. So a little CLP right here. And we're going to feed it through the bore one more time. Now, there are many ways you can do this. You can use a cleaning rod, a cleaning cable, but the bore snake seems to be catching on with a lot of people just because it's convenient and very fast to use. We're going to feed it through. Basically 2 or 3 times. We're going to take a look and see inside the bore. And this is just, we'll take a look through the bore, and you could see if it's clean. The bore is going to be nice and shiny. You're going to be able to see the lands and grooves fairly well. And there shouldn't be any crud, any type of dirt or residue that you're actually seeing. It should be fairly shiny. And this bore is really clean. So we're going to go ahead and stop right there with that. Okay, so before we put the bolt back in the bolt carrier, what I want to show is a cam pin in relationship to where it sits inside the bolt. So you can see the cam pin goes in one way. It fits nice and easy. The firing pin is going to go through that just like that, and it rides inside the bolt carrier group. However, if you have your bolt backwards in the bolt carrier, the cam pin will not fit inside the hole. It is a one directional. So if you can't fit it in, that means the cam pin needs to be rotated 180 and the cam pin will go back in. So now that we're done cleaning, what needs to be oiled? On your bolt carrier, there's basically 4 places that need to be oiled. We have these very flat pieces of metal on the top part, one on each side. Those are what's called a bearing surface. So what we want to do is we want to put oil on the bearing surface. We have 2 bearing surfaces on the bottom, and then right here, this is what rides up on your hammer. So when it goes back in, this is going to slide across your hammer. So that's going to need oil also. The other thing that needs oil is we have this other bearing surface right here, and you need to oil that. Oil doesn't need to go all over the bolt. It just needs to ride on that bearing surface. On the cam pin, just a nice light coat of oil all around the cam pin, and that should be enough. We definitely don't want to over oil it. If we over oil it, it will attract a lot of carbon and a lot of dirt and could possibly create a malfunction. So now that we're done cleaning, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll just take a rag and we'll wipe off the muzzle. We'll wipe down the hand guards. Just get the big stuff. Make sure there's not a lot of excess oil anywhere. And you can use any type of rag. Old t-shirts work fine. Whatever you want to use. We could take a look at the muzzle and make sure we don't have a lot of buildup on the muzzle. And we don't. And that's good right here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to reassemble just the same way as we took it apart. Okay, well, we have it all assembled again. What we want to make sure is we're going to do a function check right now. So a function check involves the parts that we just took apart. The first thing we want to do is to make sure that the trigger will not pull and drop the hammer when the weapon is on safe. So the weapon is on safe. You could see it right here. We have an ambidextrous. You can see it's on safe. So it's on safe, and I want to pull the trigger. Nothing happens. When I take it off of safe, put it on semi, I pull the trigger, we should hear the hammer fall. Now, as I'm holding the trigger back, I want to charge a bolt carrier group, let it go forward, and I should hear trigger reset. You're going to hear a thunk. Hear the thunk. Now, I want to make sure that the trigger will pull and drop the hammer one more time, and it does. When there is nothing in the chamber and the hammer is down, this weapon will not go to safe. In order to place it on safe, you need to charge handle, put it back on safe, and the weapon is safe. Now that we got the weapon assembled, we got all lubed up, ready to go for our next outing at the range. And maintaining the weapon is also good so we can pass this down to our family. If you'd like to see anything else, or if we forgot anything on here, please let us know in the comments. Please subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we'd like to thank you for watching. I would recommend that you clean your firearm after every use at the range. You always want to make sure that when you put that firearm away, when you go to grab it next time, it's ready for use.